I'm Amy Odell, and welcome to the Back Row Podcast. Today's big story is Anna Wintour's 10 most influential covers. Before I get to that, if you guys like the podcast, please leave a rating and review wherever you like to listen. The show is brand new, and your ratings and reviews really help with discoverability as it's getting off the ground. All right, now let's go ahead with Anna's 10 most influential covers. Well, I was wrong. I thought Anna Wintour would make a splash for her last Vogue cover and book like Kate Middleton or, I don't know, Oprah, Taylor Swift's wedding dress reveal, someone or something mega. I did not expect a solo man, Timothée Chalamet, floating around in outer space like a paper cutout superimposed onto a 1,000-piece puzzle or an old mouse pad. But that's Anna. She probably didn't want to make a big deal over her last ever cover as editor-in-chief before the task passed to her new head of editorial content, Chloe Mal, because that's not her style. She's the type of person who would rather throw a birthday party for Baz Luhrmann instead of herself. She doesn't like looking back or reflecting. She always talks about moving forward. To wit, the confirmation we got that this was, in fact, her last cover was buried as an aside in an episode of the Vogue podcast. The reaction to Anna's last cover has been, well, mixed at best. I saw a lot of comments about how it's giving Canva. People did not appreciate the austerity of the inside photo spread, which Anna favorite Annie Leibovitz photographed at a land art installation in Nevada by artist Michael Heiser. Still others wondered why she decided to put a white man solo on her final cover. Vogue has only featured men by themselves on 3 covers ever. Harry Styles for December 2020, Coleman Domingo, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell Williams, and Lewis Hamilton for May 2025, pegged to the Met's Black Dandy exhibition and gala, and now Timmy. Chalamet is promoting his awards bait movie with Gwyneth Paltrow being released Christmas Day, Marty Supreme, in which he plays a ping pong player. Maybe he's like a ping pong ball in space, floating through the fashion ether, from Chanel face to Vogue cover and back again. Still, the cover is very Anna. It caps off a decades-long collaboration with Annie Leibovitz and features an A-list star promoting a movie that seems tasteful. This formula makes less and less sense in 2025 when so few movies, and almost none that aren't targeted to kids, actually open at the box office. Award season is more and more a celebration of films few have seen by an industry prostrated before big tech as it carves it up like roast beef. And as Met Gala now even overshadows award season red carpets. This Chalamet cover is historic because it's Anna's last, but it's not historic for its influence. That said, Anna's tenure at Vogue, which she edited for 37 years, has been incredibly influential, and she was an editor-in-chief at 2 other magazines before she got that job. Ahead, my list of her 10 most impactful covers through all her years as an editor-in-chief. This list is a countdown to the very most influential cover that she did. Number 10, HG for March 1988. When Anna took over House and Garden in 1987 as editor-in-chief, she thought, correctly I'd argue, the photos were stuffy and lifeless. Dining tables were set with no sign of human activity and not a dinner napkin out of place. She decided to introduce people to interiors photography, including celebrities and socialites. When I was reporting Anna, one person told me it was radical for her to include a photo of a laundry room where the detergent was visible. The point is, these homes were lived in. They didn't exist as totems to furniture. Though the interior design community was aghast at her changes at the time, including shortening the title to HG, she established a new formula that home magazines like Elle Decor and Architectural Digest still use today. Those magazines are less about fantastic interiors than photographs of celebrities by their fireplaces, whether their homes are uniquely designed or just forgettable venues for high-contrast marble and kitchens with no food in them. Number 9. Anna's first British Vogue cover, August 1986. Anna ran British Vogue briefly beginning in 1986, her first editor-in-chief role after serving as American Vogue's creative director under Grace Mirabella. She took a magazine that featured fashion that was often just silly and horsey and made it over to appeal to the modern working woman. While this upset a change-averse contingent in British media, it also set a new standard at the title and helped to globalize her particular no-nonsense aesthetic. Number 8. Anna's first Vogue cover, November 1988. This cover was revolutionary for its time. Grace Mirabella had been publishing tightly cropped headshots of models for each issue, photographed in a studio by Richard Avedon. Anna came in, canceled Avedon's contract, and decided to photograph model Michaela Bercu outside in a Christian Lacroix top and Guess jeans, mixing high and low, showcasing a casual vision of glamour that would inform her Vogue moving forward. Number 7, Madonna, 1989. This was Anna's first celebrity cover and a radical move for the time. Madonna was highly controversial, having just released her Like a Prayer music video with religious imagery that got her Pepsi endorsement deal canceled. Rather than shy from the controversy, Anna rightly realized she could expand the public's idea of who belongs in Vogue. Number 6, Ivana Trump, May 1990, and Melania Trump, February 2005, a tie. Anna put Ivana Trump on the cover around the time of her split from Donald Trump, then just a media-hungry New York real estate guy. Even though she feared she was too tacky, she told one of her editors at the time, as I reported in Anna, the biography. As committed as Anna is to a particular taste level, she's been just as committed to occasionally breaking with it. Her instincts in this regard have often proven correct. The intrigue around Ivana was so great that the issue sold 750,000 copies, which was strong for the time. Melania Trump's 2005 cover, however, sold only 417,000 copies. But I'm putting it on the list because, like it or not, Anna contributed to the Trump family's rise. The myth of Donald Trump is a guy who knows business well enough to get rich and land model wives, dripping in couture and diamonds and Birkin bags. I wonder if, as an ardent Democrat, Anna regrets this cover today. Number 5, Gwyneth Paltrow, August 1996. Anna photographed Gwyneth 3 times before she finally gave her a Vogue cover for August 1996, pegged to Emma. This cover reflected the formula that Anna relied on for the next 2 decades. A tastefully styled A-list movie star, musicians and TV actors were rarely given top billing in these years in Vogue, promoting a tasteful movie. Number 4, Naomi Campbell, September 1989. Naomi was the first Black model to appear on the cover of Vogue's September issue, the magazine's most important issue of the year. Black stars seldom covered Vogue with regularity until very recent history, making their rare appearances all the more notable in Anna's early tenure. When she made the rare move of featuring a Black woman on the cover in the 80s and 90s, it only drove attention to their lack of representation in Vogue and fashion more broadly. Around the time Ugandan model Kiera Kabukuru got the cover for July 1997, Amy Spindler wrote in the New York Times about how fashion appropriated African culture on the runway and in editorials. She added, "The last time Vogue had anything but a white model on the cover was June 1993. That is, of course, not counting the May 1996 cover, which caused a stir when a fold-out cover offered Nikki Taylor facing the world in suburban splendor, an itsy-witsy teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini, and Miss Campbell on the inside flap in a leopard bikini, facing a Lancome Poème scent strip inside." In response to that issue, Vogue even printed a letter from a reader who wrote, "From Naomi Campbell in an animal skin bikini to that bizarre and unworldly layout with the Asian model a few months ago, to the distasteful, racist, and colonialist depiction of a woman in Ralph Lauren's idiotic and patronizing interpretation of Messiah clothing, you consistently blow it when it comes to women of color." Number 3, The Supers, April 1992. In honor of its 100th anniversary, Vogue gathered 10 supermodels to pose in white jeans and tight-up shirts, a recreation of an iconic Irving Penn photo. It was sort of the last gasp of this era of fashion in which models reigned, before celebrities took over covers, ad campaigns, front rows, and Vogue generally. When I was researching Anna, I learned that Anna actually wasn't thrilled initially about the switch from models to celebrities, despite how she helped shepherd in that era. She generally preferred the results her team got with models, for whom posing and making clothes look great came second nature. Number 2, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, April 2014. Anna has talked about how controversial she knew this cover would be, how she knew people would be horrified. But she also admitted that Kim's wedding to Kanye was such an important cultural moment that she felt Vogue could not ignore it. Whether it benefited her or Kardashian more, I'm not sure. Some Vogue readers to this day say the magazine has not been the same since, citing this cover as the moment it all went to hell. Meanwhile, Kardashian is probably one of the most famous and influential fashion icons wearing clothes today, sitting atop Skims, a clothing business valued at more than $3 billion. Anna's approval undoubtedly helped her get taken seriously by the fashion industry and consumers, and this cover was a clear turning point in her relationship to the industry. Number 1, Michelle Obama. 3 covers, March 2009, April 2013, and December 2016. Michelle Obama appeared on the cover of Vogue 3 times as First Lady. Anna raised money for both of Barack Obama's presidential campaigns. These issues are now collectibles and help cement Obama's status as the biggest political fashion influencer since Jackie Kennedy. She is, to this day, one of the world's most important fashion influencers, period. These covers were also a flex for Anna, showing her ability to feature one of the most important and sought-after fashion icons of her generation in 3 separate photo shoots. They were also a great showcase for American fashion, both Michelle and Anna being terrific champions of American design. With American fashion even less dominant now than it was then, and it has always struggled to compete with European houses, these issues succeeded because they captured so well specific moments in time, culture, and history. I asked commenters in the Back Row newsletter which covers they would add to my list, and I want to share a few of their answers. Subscriber John wrote, I am partial to Tyler Mitchell's cover with Beyoncé. Subscriber Raquel agreed, pointing out that Tyler Mitchell was the first Black photographer to have a Vogue cover. Raquel added that the cover with Gaga with that big beehive and pink dress was also memorable. And she says, as a Sophia Coppola and Kirsten Dunst super fan, I loved the Marie Antoinette cover with Kirsten Dunst. It was very different from any other Anna cover, though. Very opulent and maximalist and girly in a way that was just pure fantasy. But I think my number one favorite is Nicole Kidman, shot by Irving Penn, May 2004. It's just pure fashion. Back Row subscriber Charlie says, I'd add Oprah's Vogue cover to the list. It was definitely iconic in that it highlighted some of the worst parts of late 90s fashion. If I recall correctly, Anna made Oprah, with all her accomplishments, lose a significant amount of weight before she could be on the cover. Yes, that is absolutely true. This was the October 1988 issue. And this is what Anna wrote in her editor's letter about having Oprah on the cover. Every now and then we encounter a personality who, like many of our readers, wants to do more than just turn the pages. She wants to live the fantasy. She wants a Vogue makeover. The biggest thrill of all, however, came when we heard that Oprah Winfrey wanted to be made glamorous. She knew she had to lose weight, but she has done that before, and she promised she would lose 20 pounds by our deadline. She did, and I think that, as you will see in this month's issue, together we have more than succeeded. I did cover that cover at some length at the end of the biography because, yes, I think it is a really important moment in the legacy of Anna Wintour, for better or worse. And Backer subscriber Emma says, I would add to the list the covers for September 2022 with Serena Williams, who announced her retirement in that issue. I think that cover is one of Anna's best as well. September 2004 and March 2017 with the new supers of the aughts and tens, respectively. And March 2015 with then BFFs Taylor and Carly. What a relic. And commenter Wendy said, I agree on the Taylor Carly cover. That one and the articles still get dissected by fans and haters to this day. Thank you to everyone who chimed in on the list. If you want to chime in, leave a comment, send me a DM on Instagram. I love your feedback, so please keep it coming. Here are other loose threads from around the fashion internet. After a seemingly successful and inescapable red carpet promotional tour, the reviews of Ryan Murphy's Hulu show All's Fair have been impressively scathing. The Rap's Kaylee Donaldson wrote, it's truly baffling how terrible All's Fair is. Sophie Gilbert wrote in The Atlantic, the writing suggests that ChatGPT was asked to emulate 50 Shades' E.L. James, and however cringeworthy and brand name peppered that sounds, I can promise you it's so much worse. I watched all 3 available episodes, and I'll be back in your inbox this week with a fashion review. And I did interview Sophie Gilbert for the podcast. She is so brilliant. That episode is coming at you soon. Well, this has to be the work of Kris Jenner. Just about every major outlet has run with the story that All's Fair is actually a triumph, despite how bad it is, because it got the most viewers of any Hulu debut in 3 years, with 3.2 million globally after 3 days of streaming. I can think of creators whose TikToks regularly get more views, but for what it's worth, The Bear's 3rd season got 5.4 million in its first 4 days of streaming. Speaking of Kris Jenner, her 007-themed 70th birthday was basically James Bond's SpawnCon, thrown by Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez in their $165 million Beverly Hills mansion. Everyone from Beyoncé to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were there. Amazon acquired the rights to the James Bond franchise earlier this year. A story in the New York Times over the weekend about Americans buying more super yachts because Trump made them so rich, wedged into a feed along with news about the administration continuing trying to block food stamps for low-income people, felt nightmarishly dystopian. My friend Raquel Laneri, author of Wearable Art on Substack, opines on the question of why fashion is so hideous right now. She writes, do people want their outfits to reflect the existential dread and chaos around them? Or do they want clothes that will allow them to move through this world with a little dignity and grace? I'll drop the link to her piece in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Please rate and review if you have time. And this story is so visual, as many of mine are. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can find me at Amy_Odell. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back with you again this week.